Toby and Henrietta were enjoying their new life on the Fat Controllers Railway, but they were old and needed new paint. James snorted every time he saw them. Yuck! He said, "What dirty objects!" At last, Toby lost patience. "James," he asked, "why are you red?" "I am a splendid engine," he said, "ready for anything. You've never seen my paint dirty." "Oh," said Toby, "that's why you once needed bootlaces to be ready, I suppose." James went redder than ever and snorted off. It was such an insult to be reminded at the time he needed a bootlace that meant a hole in his coaches. At the end of the line, James left his coaches at the end of the platform, and he had to prepare for his next train, a dirty freight train, which stopped at every station to pick up and let down cars. He hated jobs like these. Dirty cars and dirty sidings. Yuck! After that, he picked up more and more cars until he had a long line of freight cars. At first, the cars behaved perfectly, but then James bumped them so hard they wanted to get back at him. Presently, they came to Gordon's Hill. Heavy freight cars usually stopped here to set their brakes. James had an accident with cars before and should have remembered this. "Wait, James, wait," said his driver, but James wouldn't wait. He was too busy thinking about what he'd say to Toby next time they met. "Next time I see Toby, I'm gonna tell him that the freight car's chance I come. Hurrah, hurrah," they said, and banging their bumpers, they raced down the hill. On, said the cars. I got to stop, said James. "Oh, don't stop pushing me. No, on. He raced through Mirror Station, but there was trouble ahead. "Oh no!" Something sticky splashed all over James. He had run into 2 tar wagons and was blacked from smoke box to cab. He was more dirty than hurt, but some tar wagons and some cars were all to pieces. Soon Percy and Toby arrived to help clear up the mess. "Look, Percy," said Toby, "whatever is that dirty object?" "It's James," said Percy. "Didn't you know? It looks like James, but James is a splendid red engine, and you'd never see his paint dirty." James pretended he hadn't heard. Toby and Percy cleared away the unhurt freight cars and helped James home. Sir Tom had met them. "Well done, Percy and Toby," he turned to James. "Fancy letting your freight cars push you down the hill. I'm not surprised. You are not meant to be seen. You should be cleaned at once. Toby will have a new coat of paint." "Please, sir, can Henrietta have one too?" "Yes." "Oh, thank you, sir," said Toby. All Toby could do was watch Toby puffs happily away.